once he was resurrected. That means we're not going to get that initial place during that 1,000-year reign. That 1,000-year reign is going to be on this earth. But after the 1,000 years, those that make it through the purging will receive something else. And I'm going to show you what that is in a moment. Let's go to John, the 14th chapter. And let's start at the first and second verse.
St. John chapter 14 verse 1. Let not your hearts be troubled.
Let not your hearts be troubled.
Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me.
Go ahead.
In my Father's house are many mansions.
In my Father's house are many mansions.
If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
Now, what is this place that Christ was mentioning that he will prepare for those who was walking with him? You're going to find out that it's an entirely different world outside of this world, because this heaven and earth will waste away. How do we know that? Let's go to 1 Peter, the 3rd chapter. 2 Peter 3. And let's start at 11. 2 Peter 3 and 11.
2 Peter chapter 3 verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
Seeing then that all these things shall be what?
Dissolved.
Hold up. Go a few verses before that.
Verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise,
Go ahead.
as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Now, when people deal with the day of the Lord, they only deal with Christ's coming, not realizing the judgment is speaking of the complete 1,000 years. A lot of people chronologically think that all this is going to happen no sooner as Christ break the atmosphere. But no, there will be 1,000 years of peace. Then Satan is judged. And then the final judgment. That's the chronology. When Christ comes, it's originally just to take down the kingdoms that are ruling in the earth. But the judgment of the lords of this earth will not happen until after the 1,000 years, after Satan is loosed. Read.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
All these things shall be dissolved.
What manner of persons ought ye to be
Go ahead.
in all holy conversation and godliness?
So we should be in all holy conversation and godliness, instead of games all the time and playing around and joking all the time. Read.
Verse 12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High,
Go ahead.
wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
The elements shall melt with fervent heat. Now, I know in times past we usually related this to a nuclear fire, but this is deep, way deeper than a nuclear fire, brothers and sisters, that it's speaking of in the final judgment. Read.
I'll sit on that.
I need you to go to the Apocrypha book, 2 Baruch 51, to show you the place that Christ hath prepared for us. And start at the first verse.
Second Baruch chapter 51 verse 1. And it shall come to pass when that appointed day has gone,
It shall come to pass when that appointed day is gone,
that then shall the aspect of those who are condemned be afterwards changed.
read that again.
And it shall come to pass when that appointed day has gone by.
That is gone by, because that lets you know this is the end of the 1,000 years. One day with the Lord is 1,000 years. So when that appointed day of the Lord is gone by, now we're at the end of the 1,000 years. We're at the end of Revelations 20. Read.
That then shall the aspect of those who are condemned be afterwards changed.
Go ahead.
And the glory of those who are justified. For the aspect of those who now act wickedly shall become worse than it is, as they shall suffer torment. Also as for the glory of those who have now been justified in my law.
Go ahead. Who have been justified in my law. Now, I can't emphasize that enough, because the Christian church are trying to make it seem as if God's law should not be followed, as if it's wrong to actually follow God's law. You can eat what you want, do what you want, and grace cover you because the Most High know your heart. That's total madness. If you're not following the law of the Most High, then your heart is deceitful. Your heart is tainted. Read.
Also as for the glory of those who have now been justified in my law, who have had understanding in their life, and who have planted in their heart the root of wisdom.
These are those who will be changed. So we know there's a change that will happen when Christ returns. We went over that change last week. But there will also be a change at the end of the 1,000 years, when we shall become all in all with the Most High, a new creation. Read.
Then their splendor shall be glorified in changes, and the form of their face shall be turned into the light of their beauty.
Here's the change. Read.
That they may be able to acquire and receive the world which does not die.
Hold up. After the 1,000 years and Satan is judged, they will receive what?
The world which does not die.
The world that does not die. Because since the sin of Adam, this earth have been dying. It's almost run its course. It's almost run its course. This total earth have been tainted through the sin of Adam. So it must be destroyed according to the prophecy. So when Christ left, he went to do what he did in the beginning, which was what? Create a new heaven and a new earth for those that will make it to the other side of the 1,000 years. So Christ's been working ever since he went to the throne. He will have his dominion on this earth for 1,000 years, but after that, it will be totally done away. Because this time and space must make space for the new realm. And I'm going to show you. Read.
Which is then promised to them. For over this above all shall those who come then lament, that they rejected my law.
So at this time, at the end of the 1,000 years, those who have the opportunity will cry, knowing that they rejected the Most High law. It was before them. They had a chance to receive it, and they rejected it. Read.
And stopped their ears, that they might not hear the wisdom, or hear wisdom, or receive understanding.
And they closed their ears so that no one can tell them the truth concerning the Most High. They would have rather have stayed in their ignorance than know the truth. Because if you know the truth, then it brings action. You must do something once you know the truth. So you have people out there who would rather say, well, if I don't hear it, then I don't have to deal with it. But it's coming anyway. The judgment is coming either way. Read.
When therefore they see those over whom they are now exalted, but who shall then be exalted and glorified more than they?
Go ahead.
They shall respectively be transformed.
They shall be respectively transformed, showing you that change in 1 Corinthians 15.
The latter into the splendor of angels.
Into the splendor of what?
Of angels.
That's the next change for man. Read.
And the former shall yet more waste away and wander at the visions and in the beholding of the forms.
And those that have scorned and disrespected the truth will see the change of the elect at the end of the 1,000 years. Read.
For they shall first behold and afterwards depart to be tormented.
Read.
But those who have been saved by their works,
But those who have been saved by their works,
and to whom the law has been now a hope, and understanding and expectation, and wisdom a confidence, shall wonders appear in their time. For they shall behold the world which is now invisible to them.
They shall do what?
For they shall behold the world which is now invisible to them.
They shall behold the world that is now invisible to them. So there's an invisible world. There's a world that Christ started working on a long time ago that will come into our existence. It's not planet X. It's not planet Risk. It's nothing that the scientists are telling you. But because they're mentioning that, that tells you that they know that there's another world that Christ is creating. Now, how do we know there's more than one world? Let's get it real quick. But flesh and blood cannot enter into this new realm that will come after the 1,000 years.
Hebrews chapter 1 verse 2.
Go ahead.
As a matter of fact, I'll start at verse 1. The Most High, who at sundry times in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, having these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
Spell that worlds for me.
worlds.
There's another place that was created outside of the earth. But we must make it to the next level through the Most High's law to achieve it, to get it. And see, that's just Adam coming to the fullness. Because just because Adam was created in the beginning, he wasn't finished. That was just the beginning of Adam. Everything we've went through this time was the building of that particular man that would make it to the next stage, which is the new heaven and the new earth. That's why this earth is passed away. It's cracking up. It's breaking up. The angels held back the four winds until the Most High told them, release it. Let Satan do what he's going to do. So now the waters are being tainted. The GMOs are tainting all of creation. All the plants are... This earth is dying. The seas are now diseased. The fish are dying. So the prophecies are being fulfilled. So it's up to us to prepare ourselves for a new world, because even though there will be a time of rest within this 1,000 years, this earth is too far gone. It's not going to make it beyond the 1,000 years of the final judgment. After the final judgment, when all the mountains go into the earth and it's all judged with the fire, there will be no trace of this satanic existence in the new world to come. It's going to be a distant memory. Finish reading.
Like I said, this is another one, Hebrews 11:3.
Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God.
By faith we understand the worlds were framed by the faith of the Most High. Read.
So that the things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear.
See that? The things that are seen are made by what?
So that the things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear.
Which are not made by the things that do appear. So something is being made in the invisible. Who's making it? Christ and the angels began to make that place, to prepare that place, knowing that this earth would one day be totally, utterly wasted. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to, let's go to Colossians 1:13. And then give me Corinthians 15. Talking about the first Adam and the second Adam. So that's what it means when it says flesh and blood